Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Sherry, and I'm Justsewsherrie over on Instagram as well. And if you want to pop over there and say hello, you'd be very welcome. I've been MIA on Instagram a little bit in early January. I wanted to firstly say thank you to everybody for their kind comments. As I said at the beginning of January is I was going to say grief anniversary, but I suppose it is, yeah. I lost my partner a few years ago. I say a few, it's been a while, but it never goes away, doesn't it? And thank you to everybody who's reached out and left really kind comments, and also talked about their own grief and their own journeys with people they've lost. You know, I don't think any of us are not touched by loss. Certainly by the time we get into adulthood, we've all lost somebody significant in our lives, and it's nice to know that we're not doing this alone. Although grief is a journey you've got to take by yourself, you can certainly do it with others supporting you from the wings. So I'm hugely grateful to those who shared their own personal experience with grief with me. So yeah, and I have to confess, thank God it's over again for another year. It's weird, it's always the beginning, not the beginning, leading up to it is always much more difficult than the day itself. I think I just wind myself up, but that's me. So thank yous for that, and also thank you for everybody who took time out to watch the last episode. At the moment, I know there's huge amounts of whip parades at the moment, and quite long whip parades because we like our whips. So to anybody that took time out to watch little old me, I'm very, very grateful. I have had to stay away from whip parades. You lasses and lads have seen the gifts that I can get myself without any prompting from really gorgeous, lovely whip parades from everybody. And I have made a conscious effort to try not to watch them. I've just stuck with my normal Flosstubes that I've watched. I will end up watching them, I know I will. I know I'll go back and watch them and end up spending a fortune, but I'm desperately trying not to. So I'm looking to move house in the next year or so. So I'm desperately trying to save money, and whip parades are not good for my bank balance. Definitely not good for my savings pot. So yeah, where else am I going? This week's Justsewsherrie. For those who are new here, I do daft things. I don't mean to, I just I fly by the seat of my pants. Is that the correct phrase? I think it is. And I make it up as I go along, pretty much. So as I've mentioned before, I am a PA to an HR director, and we support her senior leadership team as well, which can be like herding cats. It's challenging getting them all in the right place at the right time with the right stuff. So they don't need any encouragement from me to go off-piste. However, add me into the mix, and I managed to get all of them to say happy birthday to one of them. So I put on one of the group chats, happy birthday, Gary. Everyone else was like, oh, happy birthday, mate, hope you have a good one, happy birthday. And it was that funny. We had a meeting that everybody was on, and everyone's like, oh, happy birthday. And Gary, he's so funny. He's such a he's a lovely man. He really is a lovely man. And he was just sort of going and he went, well, thanks guys, but it's not my birthday. I had got the anniversary of him starting working with us mixed up with his birthday, so I'd said happy birthday and managed to get, and it just goes to show how people just follow the sheep, don't they? So I was head sheep, and I wish Gary happy birthday, and everybody else followed suit. So happy not birthday, Gary. So that's that. Let's talk about cross stitch. So if you've accidentally landed here, this is a channel about cross stitch, and some usual nonsense that happens along the way. And I had to laugh. Somebody put in the comments last week something about the bin having a star and roll, and it did. And the bin or the trash had a star and roll. And last week I just kept getting my feet stuck in the bloody bin underneath my desk. So I've got some new starts, I've got some finishes, and I've got some whips, and I've got some gifts. Gifts are for me, from me. I'm single, quite deliberately. And I prefer to buy my own presents because then I get exactly what I want. So I have got my obligatory gift section. Let's start with finishes. So first finish is, it was From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. I did 12 and 12 for New Year's Eve, and I'm doing 24 starts in 2024. Am I allowed to have both? This is my world, so I can do what I want in my world, so I'm having both. So the 12 and 12 I chose were the Monthly Quakers by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, and I just got a few stitches in on each on New Year's Eve, and then I'll do each one. I'm trying to do each one the month before, so that's finished for that month. And let's be honest, the theory was I was going to finish, so I need to get February's done before February so I can have it up for February. That means fully finishing before February. I never really thought that through, because we discussed the draw of doom last time, where everything goes in there and it does come out again. So I'm going to pretend that I'm going to fully finish, because yeah, I think I just made that one up. So anyway, I finished January's, and this is, do you know, I haven't got, that's slightly better, I haven't got my board. I was using mount board that I had, and I've actually, funnily enough, used all the mount board that I had, so I need to get some sort of a new board to display. So that is January's finished, and I did it with the Cold For DMC. I think it's Classic Colourworks it's charted with, or the DMC conversion. So I used the DMC, and it's really lovely. I love the blues, but I'm a blue girl. And then I'm doing it on 22 count hard hanger with one strand of thread 1/1. So that is January. That can now go away in the drawer of doom, and might be finished for fully finished for next January. You never know. I mean, I pretty much do know, but you never know. We can live in hope, can't we? My second finish is a finish of 4 that has been going on forever. So this is my work stitch. I have one, lots of people do have one, where we do if you get a few minutes downtime at work or at lunchtime. I never said the date, did I? It's 10 to 8 in the morning, and it is maybe the 19th. 20th. Right, 20th of January 2023. Anyway, it's Little House Needleworks Winter Petites. I did I think they're called Snowy Petites, that I've got hanging up on my, I did fully finish them. See, some things I get fully finished. So I've got it hanging up on my fire surround. Is that what you call it? Your hearth? I don't know. Anyway, so I got those finished. So there's the angel, and these are all done on a 28 count Lugana, and I think it's mushroom even weave, 2/2. So the angel, the house and the tree, the little reindeers and the little birdies, and the 2 little people. Now these are meant to have beads or French knots on them, so they're not quite, I'm saying they're finished, they're not quite finished. See, I'm just lying to you. Happy birthday, y'all. I'm just lying. They are meant to have either red beads or French knots, and I'm pretty good with French knots. But I was just desperate to say that they were finished. Is that... Are we allowed to do that? If we want something to be finished, to just say, do you know what, it's finished. That's... Did he say that again? Can anyone remember that when we had the Ghosts of Christmas? I've got a picture of my Keith, you know, up here that I can see. And you always kind of think, Anyway. Where was I before I was rudely interrupted by an orb? I was going to say note. Welcome to Cross Stitch World. Yeah, so are we allowed to say it's finished when we think it's finished? Yeah, it needs to have the beads on. It does mean I get some more longevity out of it, I suppose, because I can produce it again when it is really finished. Okay, new starts. I can't remember if I'd started this the last time or not, but I've started. In fact, I hadn't, because I know this is one of the giveaways, so I've got the giveaway results as well, and this is one of the patterns. So Ink Circles Thistle Crown, that is one of my new starts, and I am doing it on Fibre on a Whim 20 count brown sugar. Let's see if I can get it the right way. So that's the start I've made. Now, I didn't have the green. I'm doing it with the Gloriana, which is the called for. Can't get them out. Look at that. Yeah, grab them out. So they are the Gloriana. Gloriana. Wrong way around. But I didn't have the green. I think it's called Elizabethan green. Yeah. I didn't have the green because 1, 2, 3 stitch didn't have the green, and I wanted to start it, and I was itching to get moved because I'd done quite a lot of the border, and I wanted to get the green put in. So I just looked to see what I had, and I came up with my Verissoir green. Has it got a name? 1003 756. I'm not sure which one's the colour. Anyway, so I'm using that because I had it. First time ever stitching with a Verissoir. Now, I remember doing the Stitch the Rainbow last year with the Treenway silks, and they were nice enough. And I remember putting it off because I was frightened that once I started stitching with silk I wouldn't want to go back. And I was alright. They were nice to stitch with, but I was happy to stitch with cotton as well. These little beauties. Oh. I really need to find a rich old man who's not long for this world, so that I can have the money without the man. if anyone knows of anybody who fits that, what do you call it? You know, who's got that on his Tinder profile, then give me a shout. I'm all ears. Because then I would just stitch with a Verissoir all the time. So that is my Thistle Crown start. And I randomly, bear in mind I've got me 24 and 24, of which that isn't one of them. And my other new starts on one of them either. Surprise! Oh no, I've only got another one. But it isn't one either. What was I going to say? I've forgotten. Must have been a lie. Next new start. Oh, that's where I was going to talk about my next new start. I just randomly fancied stitching Halloween. Where did that come from? I do not know. So I've pulled out my Primitive Hare Season of the Witch to finish, but it appears that I've de-kitted it, so I didn't have the threads to hand, and I wanted something just, I needed a comfort stitch, and I didn't have anything that fit the bill, so I started a new one, and I started Nora Corbett. I think again because it's a, I mean it has actually got, it's not just one colour, it's got Karen Water Lily, which I haven't got. It's got some Kryneck and it's got some beads. So it's not quite a monochrome stitch, but the actual stitching is. Now this is on "18 Count Fruit Salad" by Stitchy Ferret, and that super cute needle minder that won't stay where he's put is from Denkai. Is it Denkai Stitches? Denkai Designs on Etsy. So I just started, so I've just got a little start there. I just don't know, just randomly fancied, and I'd like to finish Season of the Witch as well, so that's still in my head that I need. You know when you need the ones that's done. That was the other thing last week when I said forward plans. I don't know if I said it in forward plans, but I said it at some point. Sorry. All the crinkling noise. I've got my microphone on as well, so I need to be mindful. Season of the Witch, I wanted just to finish. Oh, that's what I was saying. Oh, God, Sherry. You see, this is where it all goes horribly wrong. At some point it always goes horribly wrong with me, so might as well get it over with. I was going to finish Thistle House, wasn't I? I was going to make it my focus piece. Plum Street Thistle House. So, because it's been a whip since last, I think we looked it up, it was February I started it, 2023, so I wanted it finished. So I pulled it out, ready to finish it, or ready to get, you know, some more done on it, so I can get it finished. Floss the pattern. I do not know what I've done with the pattern. The only thing I can think, because I was stitching on it prior to the last Flosstube, because I showed what I'd done on it, the only thing I can think is I've put the pattern in another whip bag or somewhere else where it doesn't belong. And I had a little hunt through my whip bags, I can't find it, so I think it's going to be one of those that I'll come across it when I come across it. So I'm really frustrated because I wanted that one finished, so I'm a little bit annoyed that I can't finish it because I just can't find it. The next one I did was Christmas Parade. I love this, by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I got finished on it I got Santy finished on it. So I got his little face put in, and I got his little, I'm saying I got Santy finished. You see online again, his boot still needs to be done. But I got all the red finished, and I got his little face put in. And I like this, and I'm doing this on, is it Vintage Stone? I can't remember what it's called. But it is a 32 count, I think. I think it's a 32 count. Yeah, I think it's a 32 count. And I think it's Vintage Stone by Stormy Night. Is it Stormy Night? Something like that. I've got a load of it. Yeah, note to self, Sherry. Figure out what you're doing. So I did a little bit more on that. And next, I did a little bit more on this, not a huge amount. And this is from the delightful Chris the Camping Stitcher, Winter at the Barn. And again, it's all about the blues. All about the blues. So I did a little bit more on it. I did a little bit more of the barn, and I started to put the border in, which is green. And this little sweet little needle minder I got from Megan Coffee Crafts, I think it was, in her Christmas Advent. That's where I got this from. So I've done a little bit more on it, not a huge amount. And this is it's just a Belfast. It's a 32 count plain linen that I got from somewhere at some point. So that is that one. I did a bit more on this one, funnily enough. This one is, now I looked for the pattern, the proper pattern before, to show you. Sorry for that crinkling. This is the working copy I've got. I don't know what I've done with the proper pattern. I have got the proper pattern because I've showed you it before. So this is by the wonderful Brenda Gervais, Winter Rose Manor. It's not a very good copy because it's just photocopied. So that is that. And how much more have I done on this? Oh, that's the back, and it's upside down. Right. So I've done a bit more on it. Have I done more on it? I must have, because it was in my done more pile. Oh, that's right. So I've finished the board. Well, I've finished going around the top border and come down here, and I've started to work down here so that they'll meet. If I have to do any fudging, it'll be in the corner. You can see how yeah, how much faith I have in myself. And I've done some more of the little what are they? Flowers? Buds? I've done some more of the little coloured things down there as well. And I have actually done some more. You can't see this very well. It's not coming up very well on camera. It's really lovely in real life. It is very sort of tone on tone. But I need some more. I need some more. It's roasted marshmallows. I am doing it all with the called for fancy floss, which is nearly all week's dye work, and a gentle arts, which is the roasted marshmallow that I need some more of, and a couple of classic colour works. So yeah, that is Winter Rose Manor. So that's going to be it's going to be a plodder. My Winter Rose Manor is going to be just keep plodding away with it. Just keep doing a little bit. And I might at some point have something else much more exciting to show you, but to be continued. So yeah, that is that one. Right, where am I? I need to wet me whistle. Okay, where am I next? Where am I next? I've done loads of stitching actually. And this was my New Year's Day start, which was our Jacob, the two Quaker sisters from Modern Folk Embroidery. This is the one I was starting with my friend Leanne, because I accidentally bought 2 copies. So this was my New Year's Day stitch that I started New Year's Day, and I'm really enjoying this, really enjoying it. Every single time I've got working threads on all of them. So that is as far as I am. Loving this, absolutely loving this. And this is just a antique white, so I got antique white 32 count. And I think that's the thing as well, it's quite an easy stitch because it's on a 32. Love this. Now this is something I wanted to ask you about. So I'm kind of down here on this one. This one, do I do it? I am using, by the way, I think I just picked the colour that I want, which is, I'm using DMC 3768. Do I do it in a, do I do our sister in a, like a complementary thread? Or not? Or do I just do it in the same? Because I mean the patterns are sufficiently different that they are very different without changing the colour. But I like the thought of them being slightly different. You know, from the same mould but different, which is, you know, kind of sisters. And this is my beautiful ceramic tea plate needle minder that I got from Don't Step on Your Needle. Jana, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So I quite fancy doing it in a complementary colour. Tell me what you think. I don't know. I just don't know. I dinna ken hen, I dinna ken. I would say that if I was in Scotland. Where's that come from? You only find little bits of thread and you think, not entirely sure where that's come from. This is how, you know, I lose my patterns and all sorts. It all just gets chucked places. So that is that way. This one, I'm a little bit disappointed that I haven't quite finished the next bit. I was nearly there last night, but I was just too tired. So I couldn't quite finish. So this is, I'm back to my Owl Forest embroidery. This is my comfort stitch. Love stitching on this. When in doubt, stitch on this. That's what I do. And I'm doing it with all the called for threads from Owl Forest. And this is where I am. And I haven't got, guess what? I haven't got a working thread on it. I know. So I am nearly there with that middle. And the reason I want this done is that these aren't my favourite colours. I'm not a green girl. I'm just not a green girl. I am a any colour but green girl. And I'm not a purple girl either. And I think with purple you are or you're not, and I'm just not. I like cornflower blue and sort of a deep lilac, but I'm not, yeah, so because it's not my favourite colours, I just want to be done with it. So I'll get that finished in the next session, and then I'll get on to the next one, which is excitingly a blue. So it's this one I'm moving to next. I can't wait. So the next one is that. It's almost a greeny. Can you see it against my jumper? It's almost like an aqua. I love this. I love this. I'm going to show you again just because I love it. I love it so much, and it's going to be... I'm doing this on, sorry, 40 count ballet slippers by Fox and Rabbit. No? Yes? So, I just love looking at this. I just love it. I just love it. I was on Instagram, Chris, the Camping Stitcher, was saying she'd finished her Light of Winter by Brenda Gervais, which is the companion piece to Winter Rose Manor. And she was saying she was struggling to settle on something once you finish like a bigger piece that's been a really lovely stitch, and you just can't settle on anything. You just keep hopping around from this to this to this to this. And I know I'm going to have that with that. I know I'm going to really, really miss stitching on it when it's completed, because I've enjoyed every single stitch. I'm saying I don't like the colour. It's alright, and I'm enjoying it still, but I'm looking forward to getting on the blues. So yeah. Next one is my long dog, which is my 1 down 3 across, and I need to get this finished. I've mentioned this before because I'm doing it on I think it's a 14 count. And yes, we've got a working thread. So I'm doing it on a piece of Ada that I dyed. So I'm quite pleased with it. And I'm doing it with .760, DMC 760. So I moved over here and I got these birdies done, and I've started to put... What I'm trying to do is get all the bits put in. So anything that's not a letter, the big chunky motifs, and get all the what do you call it? Border. What do you call it? Border. Get all the building blocks. That's what I was thinking. Get all the building blocks in, because the letters should be fairly easy and fairly quick to stitch. So, and I'm a vegetables first kind of girl. I'd rather get the rubbish bits out the way and enjoy the nice bit. So yeah, so I finished those little birdies. What else did I do? Oh, I think I just came along here and got some more of the border, the building blocks. And the reason I need to get it done, if you've missed the last couple of floss tubes that I've done, or if you're new here, and if you are new, please consider subscribing. It's lovely to have you along for the ride. The reason I need it done is my living room it's like a very, very, very light grey, and the fireside wall, the fireplace wall, is that what you call it? The whatever, is a very, very, very light blush pink. So that was meant to be to match my living room. Well, if I'm moving house, it's not really going to match my living room, is it? Unless I deliberately have to paint my new living room the same colours again, just so that it matches the cushion. So instead of doing the cushion to match the room, I'll do the room to match the cushion. What else? Well, there's still some more. There's still some more to come. Quite a bit, actually, still. So I finished my January Quaker, as you saw. And I moved on to February Quaker. So again, from the Heart Needle Arts. This was one of my 12 and 12. And also is one of my 24 in 24. And I'm desperately trying to catch up to Tan, who's the monogamous stitcher. She's in the middle of March already. I'm like, oh, wait, man. Give us a chance. Give us a chance to catch up. She's flying on hers. So this is as far as I am in February. And I'll probably leave the month until last. Like the letters of the month until last. Because that'll be the pièce de résistance. Now, it's meant to be, and I did kit them up, it's meant to be in $8.99 and $3.716. But I changed them. I was talking last time about, there's me saying I'm not a pink kind of girl, and I've got my living room pink. But I'm not, so I've changed I've kept the green's the same, but I changed the pinks to 3726 and 224. So I've made them a bit more sort of as a dusty rose, and the light pink is just slightly not as bubblegum Barbie pink as what was originally called for. So that's where I am on February Quaker. And again, this has been done on 22 count hard hanger, 1/1. I think that's partly why, because I like stitching with one thread. Depending on what I'm doing, I don't know if any of you do railroading. And this, if you don't know what I mean by railroading, it's when you pull the needle down through, so you split the stitches as you go down. If you've got the thread, you put the needle down between the threads, and it helps it lie. So sometimes I have to do that depending on how my threads behave and if I'm doing 2 threads, and obviously it takes a lot longer. So I do like stitching with 1 thread because it makes it a lot neater and a lot easier. Okay, 3 more to go. I have done a lot of stitching. So, and these 3 have got my heart. Absolutely got my heart. So if you think I haven't done enough. So these are my fancy ladies, or my, whatever you want to call them. So this first one is my Fairy Moon Mirabilia. And I love this. I love anything related to the moon. Absolutely love this one. And I am doing this on it was a custom dyed piece from Sophie Stitchy Ferret that I asked for because I knew what I wanted. And it's a 32 count because that's what mirrors need to be for the beads. So I'm getting there. So what I've done is the only place I was sort of halfway around the moon. So I finished the moon and then I've gone round with the next colour in the moon. There's still another colour to go in the moon and there's a whole load of beads. And then I've moved down. I moved down to her. And isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she lovely? And I'm absolutely loving this. She's going to be stunning. She is going to be stunning. Now, 1/1 for a face. I haven't done it. I've done 1/2. I will probably go backwards and frog that and do 1/1. I'll see how it goes. I'll see what it looks, because at the moment it looks alright, but we'll see. I am mindful though that I haven't done it. A lot of people do the 1/1. Love this. And I'm stitching with a lady called Dottie on Instagram. I need to see how she's getting on with hers actually. So that is Fairy Moon. My next one is Bella Filipina, and it is Gaia, the Earth Goddess. And I've done a little bit on her as well. Now I am doing this on, it's a lakeside piece called Daffodil. Which is going to be, I'll show you the piece. It's darker than what is shown on on camera. The colours are darker, but so I did some more of the apple green, sort of slotted that in, and I've moved over here and I've done quite a bit of the creams, and then moving over to the yellows. And then we'll go over and it'll go, it's like those colours will transfer over here as well. So it'll go sort of orange and then the greens again. So I was trying to get that done. So I've done a good bit, might not look like it, but I have done quite a good chunk on there. She's going to be beautiful. I love this colour fabric. It was fabric of the month. With Lakeside last year, and it just, to me, it was perfect. Isn't it funny how we all have like different thoughts on what we like, what we think looks good. And I'm doing this with all the called for DMC, and I always put, when I'm doing big projects, I put them all into floss away bags. The main reason being, I'll show you this as an example. I can put the threads in, so because otherwise you need a big old thread bed, and you can get them quite lost quite easily. There's another one. So it means I can put the spare threads back into. So that's the main reason that I use floss away bags, for if I've got a lot of colours. But yeah, it's all been done with the called for. And you can hear the beads jangling. There's all the beads in the cry neck. So all called for. And my last whip is Snow Queen by Mirabilia. She's just beautiful. I love her. I absolutely love her. Well, obviously I like all of them. You can see how much I like them. I've been stitching a fair bit. Now this one was very naughty. It had to go on the naughty step a couple of times. I frogged his face a couple of times, so I was a little bit peeved with him. He was being a bit naughty. So yeah, when you saw it last, I'd done the antlers and I had started putting in the cry neck. Now, we're moving down here, down to his little face. And of course, you know, it's, do you know what? You could put, you could do it, you know, instead of whose line it is anyway, you could put who stitches it anyway and put everybody's working, like, whips out and have to guess which stitcher stitched them. You would always guess mine because it would be the one with the working thread. Yep, that'll be Sherry's. So, yeah, so I had to frog his little face twice. So he just wasn't playing nice. So he had to go on the step for a little while. But we're getting there now. We've made friends and we're getting there. It's looking good. It's looking good. I wanted to try, and the reason I wanted to put some of the Krynick in here is because I wanted to do it as I go, but also because I wanted to move over here so I could move over and start and do some of her. Mainly because it was more of the block colours, which makes it a little bit easier. So I can hop about between doing something, what do you call it, like more complicated, with easy sort of fill-in stitching. So I haven't gotten there yet because I've gone with the vegetables first, and do you know what, I'm determined to get his face nailed, and then I'll move over to the lady and do some of the easier block stitching. So that is all my whips. I'm knackered. To be fair, I did have a couple of days off work where I just literally hunkered down and stitched. So I did have a little bit extra time that I wouldn't normally have. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with what I've managed to get done. So I'm going to go and grab a drink. I'll grab my gifts and then we'll go through those. And we've got the giveaway results as well. So 2 ticks. Right, 2 ticks has been ticked. Gifts. I got fabric wise, I got half a yard of 14 count legacy. What it's for, I'm not sure, but I've obviously bought it specifically to do something on, because it's a big hunk of fabric. So I need to go through the patterns and figure out what I bought it for. No idea. I got some more of the ones that I like, funnily enough. Milk and honey, fibre on a whim. Did I say that was Picture This Plus, by the way? Picture This Plus. Milk and honey, and is that cream and sugar? Yes, cream and sugar. So if I hold them up, you can see the difference. Because if I held one and then held the other, you would think they're very similar. So you can see the difference, that this has got more of a greeny, browny hue, whereas that is paler. The cream and sugar is slightly paler. So that should give you an idea of the different tones of the fibre on a whim. And they are both 32 count. No, and this is 40 count. And I got a yard of Winter Moon, is it? Yeah, and this is an Edinburgh linen, which means it is a 36 count. So Belfast is 32, Edinburgh is 36, and Newcastle is 40. So this is a Edinburgh, which is 36, and I got a full yard of it. I might try a little bit of home dyeing. And I got this, and now I know what this is for. So this is a week's dye work, half a yard, mocha. And I will show you, because this is going to be a big project. I mean, it's massive. It's. I know I'm short, but it's nearly the size of me. It's massive. And I got this to do my forget-me-not on. So I still haven't quite decided what I'm doing for my 50th. So it's my 50th in the middle of March. And I want a special project for it. So it's either going to be Nightingale Mirabilia or this Modern Folk Embroidery. I haven't even had a drink. It's a good job, isn't it? Can you imagine? Right. Modern Folk Embroidery, when I can say it. It's either going to be one of those two. At the moment, I can't decide between them. So I'm kind of leaning towards both. Which seems a bit bonkers. So that is for that. Now, what to do it with? I would have quite liked a variegated, but Jacob's quite good, and he's he does like a write-up in it, and he talks about what fabrics and stuff to use. And in most of his, he says, like, use what you want, basically. Use what you want. But then he gives a recommendation of what he would do or whatever. So he says, actually, for this, don't use a variegated, or if you're going to use a variegated, use one with very subtle variegation in it, because it can look too much with the project. So, do I get a very subtle variegation? And if so, which one? Or do I just go with, now I quite fancy doing like a sepia. So like a deep, no, not a deep brown, like a medium brown. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts, people. You people who've got more experience than me at colour matching. So that was that. I then got the patterns. So again, I got some of the patterns which sell out over Christmas, so I've just got them in, and I kept looking. I loved this. Joyeux Noel. Aren't they dead canny, man? They're proper canny. By Tra-La-La. And because I'm canny, I got two. I got one for you. So this will be part of a giveaway. Either Christmas in July or before next Christmas. I got another Tra-La-La, and I got Alice. Isn't she lush? I love her. I think she's fab. I got another Tra-La-La. I went down the Tra-La-La rabbit hole, obviously. And I got him, what's he called? Luton de Noël. You can tell French is something I'm familiar with. Lutin? I have no idea. That one with the little boy with a ruddy yet. Obviously, words have decided to give up on me. We're getting towards the time when Sherry can't speak. I got this one, another Ink Circles Forest Path, and I did get the variegated threads to go with it. Classic Colourworks, and they're all hanging up there. Ask me why I've hung them up there. I've no idea, but I've hung them up there. That's some of them as well. And I got this, and this was again inspired by Chris the Camping Stitcher. She finished this on Instagram, Kringles, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it, because when I first saw this, it's something I would wanted, but then I thought, I'll never finish it. It's never going to happen. And that really inspired me. Seeing someone else finish it is like, oh, actually it is achievable, like it can be done. So anybody who thinks not putting stuff on Instagram please do, because you inspire the rest of us that it can be done. So yeah, I got Kringles. And I've had my eye on this for the Trees of Coga Wisdom. I love this. When I'll stitch it, who knows? But I do love this. And this is probably one of my favourites. Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. Jane is doing this one at the moment. It's another Modern Folk embroidery. That word that I can't say anymore. Embroidery. Rosebush. The Rosebush sampler. It's beautiful. I wonder if this is... I wonder... Because I was just thinking when I looked at it, I would like the same fabric, to do it on the same fabric. What does it say here? It doesn't say. He recommends Roxy Floss Co. Yeah, it doesn't say. What does it say? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. And I got this poinsettia, Celtic poinsettias for Christmas. I love this. And I got a Halloween, because some reason I went down Halloween. I got Tabitha. Now Tabitha is close to my heart because I had a little cat called Tabitha. And I loved that little cat. She was my little cat. She was quite timid. I was the one she trusted. And she was 18 when I lost her. And oh God, the pain. I've never known grief like it when I lost that little cat. So although she wasn't a black cat, she was a tortoise shell, and she had the character to go with it. And I got some Noras. I got S, I got A, and I got D, because they are my initials, Sherry Ann Dodd. So I will put them together on the same piece. I think it's quite funny, my initials. Couldn't write it. Okay, and then I got some shepherd's bush. Now with these ones I did get all the buttons. Each of the buttons to go with the patterns, but I haven't kept them out, I've put them away. But I did get the buttons. So I got Be a Witch, obviously. I got, and I love this, Bulb. And this is so pretty. This is a beautiful spring. I think this is an April, May stitching piece, without a doubt. I got Star of Wonder, Star of Night, Star with Royal. I don't know the words. Star with Royal Beauty Bright. I think I've made that up. I'm going to have to look up the words now. So that's Star anyway. Oh my God. Wish. When you wish upon a star. What's it for? Oh no, it's We Wish You a Merry Christmas. I know that one. And I got Autumn Notes. And again, I got the batteries. I got the batteries to go with all the patterns. Yes, I got the buttons to go with the patterns. Oh my God. Can you imagine? It would be great if we could get like new batteries in when we want to start a new project, and we could like little Duracell bunnies, like get things done really quickly. Brand new batteries in. Yeah. I suppose it's what you feel like, isn't it? When you start anew, that's why we like starting, because it's like, this is me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fly through it. 5 days later, what was I thinking? Why did I start this? My hands is cold. It's flipping cold everywhere at the moment, isn't it? Anyway, I think I stopped earlier on when I was saying where's it gone now? Just put them all down here and it's there. The rose bush. Did I finish saying Jane from Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie, she is doing this at the moment, and every time she brings it out and shows, I fall in love with it all over again. So if you want to see someone who's in the middle of doing this, Jane is doing it, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. I might actually message her and find out what fabric she's doing hers on, because that would be good. Okay, not much left to do. Giveaways, and then I will let you go, or I'll let me go, because I clearly can't function any longer. Okay, giveaway. So I'm still freezing, but anyway, I need to put the heating on. It's cold. It's cold. Right. So we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 giveaways from the last one. So the first one was Cottage Garden Samplings, and it was the Shepherd. And I will put the names at some point somewhere on the screen once I can work it out. So the Shepherd was won by Pat Tackerberry, but I will put the name across properly. So Pat Tackerberry, you need to get in touch with me and give me your address. Usual rules apply. You need to be over 18 so that I can ask for your address. So Pat Tackerberry, yeah, that one there, whatever it says somewhere on the screen. The next one was the fabric, which was the marble fabric. So it's got like a purpley, greeny marble to it. And this was won by Claire Elf 937. So Claire Elf 937. The flowers, which was the full kit, and this was sent to me from Val Lawson, who's a really lovely lady. So it's got everything, it's got the Ada and everything else, and that was won by Karen Barker 5018. So Karen Barker 5018 for the craft collection Art Nouveau Lady with Flowers. Crown was the Crown Thistle, which was the ink circles, which I very stupidly bought 2 of because I'm stupid. And this was won by the Cheshire Stitcher. So the Cheshire Stitcher, again, if you can all email me at justsewsherrie@gmail.com. Give me your address and I'll get these in the post to you. And the last one, which was Floral Etchings by Heart in the Hand, and we had the word heart for that, and that was won by Susan Thomas 8295. So Susan Thomas 8295 for the heart. So if you can all get in touch with me, I'll get them in the post to you as soon as I can. Okay, what now? Forward plans. Have I got any plans? Yes, I have. I've got stitching day, a northeast stitching day on the 23rd, I think it is. Oh no, I'm due to come back here. When's a fortnight? When is a fortnight's time? 3rd of February. So yeah. I've just said that it was a stitching day on the 23rd, haven't I? I've just totally lied because the 23rd's a Tuesday. Oh, I'm meeting a couple of the girls, a couple of the stitching girls on the 23rd. That's what's happening. I think the stitching day must be on the 27th, and then there's another stitching day on the 3rd. It's all getting very complicated. It's all getting very, very complicated. It's all getting quite busy because then on the 9th I'm away in North Wales for a retreat with, well, a retail therapy weekend. We're going to go at the Nimble Thimble and create nostalgia, which I'm hugely looking forward to. So I've got quite a bit of stitching, socialising coming up. What else have I got going on? Anything? Nothing? Lots of stitching, I hope. I would like to find things I've lost, like my Thistle Street pattern, and what my big hunk of fabric's for. That would be useful to know why I've bought a, because 14 count isn't one I would generally pick. So I've got, who knows? Yeah, that is that. Inspiration this week. Let's have a look. What have I got? Oh, yeah. If you want something you've never had, then you have to do something you've never done. Bye for now.